thank you, Markus, for proposing this, and I'm curious to hear your presentation.
Okay, thanks, Matthias, for having me. So what I did for my talk, I started a PowerPoint thing. In fact, this is the band. We took this photo in Mali. So you see it's a rather big project. And I've been hanging with them quite some time. They play every Monday now. I think it's the 11th year. If you're here on Monday, come and join. These evenings are every evening is different. Sometimes they will just pay tribute to old classics like Duke Ellington or stuff. And sometimes the evenings get really full floating improvisational. And I had the honor to play some vinyls in the pause between two sets and after, and I started. I brought back from my journeys from West Africa. I brought back some vinyls from there, so this inspired the band to arrange music from these old vinyls. I'm sorry that this is not. This is it. Perhaps it doesn't fit so much in this context here. It's a mainstream. You can say it's a mainstream thing. The whole journey was like we traveled to Mali, beginning as a septet, and then after weeks the full band arrived. So at the end we were like 20 people traveling and jamming with people, and then in the end they recorded an album, and I tried to make a documentary film on that. So what I wanted to show you now is the opening thing, the opening scene that already I mean, kind of challenged me as the editor, because I'm okay. Some words to me. I started as experimental filmmaking and sound recordist, and I love recording ambiences. But basically, I'm coming from editing, and so this first scene I wanted to show you is already very challenging, because the original song they were playing is like 15 minutes, and I quickly understood that I can't open the film with a 15-minute piece, because it's the okay, let's watch this.
Voilà, tu vas danser, faut danser. Ah, celui qui ne danse pas, c'est pas bon. Il faut seulement voir là où moi je m'arrête et vous reprenez.
Perhaps you understand that my challenge, what also I wanted to talk about, is you have this reality in front of the camera, and they have some sort of conceptual freedom in front of the camera, and they're not listening to me when I say I want to have a 2 minutes song, but then you're challenged to edit this together and try to keep the moment, the spiritual energy of the moment. And this is, in fact, this is basically what I wanted to talk today about it. Because in a way, we have this conceptual freedom in front of the camera is also not really true, because it starts already with a band that has self-imposed conceptual limitations. For example, they don't, all of the instruments are monophonic, so they only can make chords together, play chords together. There's no piano or some instrument in the band where they play, where one single person can play a chord. And even for that journey, they invited a guitar player, but he wasn't allowed to play chords. So when thinking about that talk, I thought that this is one of the really important points that brought us together. So they have in front of the camera, in a way, they have conceptual limitations, but they, in a way, they had the freedom to do anything, and be in the moment. So when we prepared that together with my cameraman and my dear friend, the sound engineer, we also thought about, okay, they do have some conceptual limitations, why don't we have them? And so we invented also, or we put on ourselves also some sorts of these limitations. For example, the camera, we bought 2 old high-speed lenses. And it if it was me, we would only have the 30 millimeter, which urges the camera person to move really close. Um, um, and we agreed very fast that we don't use Zoom, but he insisted to have the 50. And it was, I mean, the whole journey was like, I was asking, put on the 30 millimeter. And he would say, no, I want the 50 to. But this was also a struggle, like ongoing struggle, like they had with the band and we had behind the camera, to play again, very important word, with these conceptual limitations. And then you have the conceptual limitations during shooting, and then comes other conceptual limitations during editing, because we ended up having like 120 hours of film or something, and then you sit down and think about how to put that together. And I mean, in the rough cut, again, it's starting with playing. I will come to that word playing again later in my talk, because there's a difference between playing and performing. That's what I've found out. But let me go to my to this. I mean, I have quite a collection of vinyls of free jazz or improvisational music, and I observe myself that I don't put so often this music, because it somehow, for example, this on the right side, it's a dear friend of mine, a very nice project here in Berlin, and I bought this album, but it doesn't deliver the energy that I had during the concert. So the big question is how can we, I mean, even if we record something and put it on an album, how can we, or this one, I talked to Gunther also, and how already the process of selecting pieces of music, because they might have like also like 5 hours of recording, or like we had like 120 hours of recording, and then how to select to put that somehow together, and that and because Gunther says that it's the moment, it's the moment of actually playing the music. I'm not saying performing, I'm saying playing. That brings the energy and brings us all together and connects the audience with the musicians. And this is the moment that I really love so much when going to concerts. But I do have these problems, or I don't know, problems is not the right word, but I can't feel it really when I play the vinyl. And Matthias, it's such a coincidence. Matthias was talking about Step Across the Border, and I also wanted to show a little scene of Step Across the Border, which is one of my favorite scenes, where it shows how it comes together, how they arranged this improvisational music that is made in the moment, and then as filmmakers they played with it. Let us watch this.
And as soon as you make that connection between the voice and the instrument that you play, it transforms your idea about what music can be.
Platform 1 since the 8:55 to Liverpool. Train approaching platform 1 since the 8:55 to Liverpool.
I love this film. I can watch it all over again. It inspired me since I saw it. I saw it directly in Munich when it came out, and since then it inspires me so much. And I've been to many concerts of Fred and many projects. But the thing on that film that makes it so special is that that's not a film team, but because it is two filmmakers, Nicolas and Werner, who traveled with Fred Fritz, and so I think there wasn't this need to communicate or even debate with the team like we have done in our constellation, where we had like cameraman and sound guy at least, and then the whole band. So my guess is that there wasn't so much communication needed, which might be the reason why this film is different from the approach that I'm doing. Because I'm coming, I mean, I started also making a lot of Super 8 experimental films, but then after the wall fell, that was the time when I had to decide on which film school I had to go. So I decided to go on this in East Germany, like Babelsberg, which is the HFF, Potsdam Babelsberg Film School, that was the former East German film school, and one of the main differences from that film school to DFFB film school here is that they had this division of labor, that filmmaking is based on teamwork, like you have the director, camera, sound, editing, and so you have these consultations all along the process of filmmaking. So any information would be transferred into words and then retransferred in the head of this team member to his actual approach to the music, be it sound or camera, and also editing. Which means that there are a lot of articulated arguments. We had there's one lesson that I learned really. It's still one lesson that I don't forget. It's from this drama teacher, Gerd Gericke, who is also doing drama for Jakob der Lügner. I don't know the English. It's the only East German film that was running for the Oscars, Jakob der Lügner. So this teacher told us, let's think about the moment when prehistoric man developed language, and like they were sitting around the campfire and talking about an adventure they had during the day, like hunting down a mammoth or whatever, and eventually people just fell asleep because the guy didn't. I mean, so just to give a picture on that, I asked ChatGPT to. That's very funny. That might have been the moment, and it always comes back to me like, okay, the guy is talking and others falling asleep. So there must have been a development of how we tell stories in order that the others don't just fall asleep or leave or whatever. So this is one of the bases where I still work on. So we go and have these 5 acts and we have this dialectic discussions with the team members and trying to transfer what we have in our head, what we are just feeling, into words and communicate and debate, and then others have to transfer it again. But in a way, it goes against the process. This procedure is like the other side. It's against the project, the process that we actually want to achieve when we are filming like improvised music. So the question is also like what I found so interesting that Matthias was asking is can the recording of an improvisation represent the liveliness of the moment, and how can we come there? And if not, like I have the feeling with these albums that when I play one of these free jazz albums, the energy doesn't really come. I don't feel the energy so much. I don't know if it's you. And so I was talking also now the last 2 weeks since I'm preparing that talk. I'm talking a bit to people, especially these are friends of mine, and it came out a bit also like okay, I'm a bit focused on words, but I had to talk to them, and they an artist has the right to stay silent about his art. But what came out in a way is that difference between to play and to perform, where when they are playing together, it's like exploring approaches to somebody is doing something, so the other one is like echoing or whatever. It's a dialogue, and that came to my mind that like when you follow my son when he was 3 years old or something, he was exploring gravity and all over again, and it was about it's not that he was playing like what perhaps we think like playing a video game or something but it's like learning, exploring. Eventually after 2 months he found out that gravity would just things go away if you so I think we should use this word play more like it comes from game theory, like to play through different choices to predict outcomes of things. And this is also what Isabel, she was playing here last week, told me when I interviewed her. To play music emphasizes the act of making music. It can be exploratory or improvisational, like playing a game. That's what she said, and I thought she has the right to stay silent, but I asked, I insisted somehow. And perform music is something else. And then that also relies to the way of the process of filmmaking, and then later show and then show the film, which is performing, or have it pressed on vinyl. It's performing what has happened before. That is what I think is also the challenge of our work as filmmakers when we want to reproduce what is happening. So yeah. The next thing I thought about is also my son, the drawing of my son I wanted to show you. I think he was like 5-6 years old. You see these two guys, they are talking about a reality, which is the number in the middle, but depending on their point of view, both of them telling the truth. Which brings us back to these two words, reality and truth. which and these two words are so important for the way of filmmaking, because I mean, in the way that there's this reality that's just, it's there, and in the very moment we talk about it, it becomes truth. You also from film school, I mean, we read a lot, and I wanted to, now it's getting a bit theoretical, and I wanted to show you this personal theory of cognition of a filmmaker that influenced me also a lot. It's Eberhard Fechner, who made a lot of documentaries. So, for example, on the Auschwitz trial in Frankfurt at the time, and so he says he has this he starts with these three words, like reality and truth, and then comes Wirklichkeit, which isn't not so easy to translate, I found out, into English. English doesn't, I mean, if you ask dictionaries, it will come up for Wirklichkeit, it will come up with reality or truth. And I thought we already had these two expressions already. So actuality might be, I mean, the English persons here can perhaps comment on that. So it's defined on the individual itself. And again, we come to this challenge as a filmmaker to reproduce what is happening in front of the camera. And then Fechner comes to his fourth word that is so interesting. It's realism. Let me just quote him, because I think this is so to me it's very true. That I don't read it to you. You can read it on your own. The thing is, it's all based on this subjective perception, and then we all have different sorts approaches to it to follow our sort of realism that we do. Like you had another sort of realism that I have. And to not make it too boring, I will play you another scene from the film. My sort of realism.
Ça sourit Bamba. Aussi, il a commencé la musique dans les années 57, bien avant l'indépendance. D'accord? Et Kouloukoutou, quand tu regardes Kouloukoutou, tu trouveras beaucoup de langues dedans. Et au niveau des refrains, il arrive à quitter du Bambara, aller en Dogon, à quitter du Dogon, arriver en Soraï, en Peul. C'est un monsieur qui ne peut pas s'arrêter simplement dans un album pour chanter juste une seule langue. Hein? C'est lui, il a prôné le multipote musical. Voilà, tu vois, l'orchestre Kanaga. C'est lui qui a créé l'orchestre Kanaga et il a formé beaucoup de personnes aussi.
Ja, das ist geil. Die Masken kannst du auch legen, können wir doch.
C'est bon. C'est dunkel hier. Ah oui, c'est vous. Ouais, c'est pas vous. Non?
Sorry, Bamba, c'est sie.
Sorry, Bamba de Mali.
Non.
Mais vous
Mhm. Wow. Direkt Vergleich?
Sorry, Bamba.
C'est vous.
Ah, j'aime beaucoup
À l'époque, c'est l'ensemble qui a enregistré, qui fait l'enregistrement. Si l'ensemble joue, si c'est bon, donc ça réussit. Dans le cas contraire, s'il y a eu quelqu'un qui a manqué quelque chose, il y a quelqu'un qui n'a pas fait ça, il faut tout reprendre. Des fois, on peut passer toute une journée pour quelques petites choses, mais il fallait que ça rentre juste, sinon le disque n'est pas bon. Non, non, non. Param, 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 pam, pam. Param, param, pam, pam. Voilà, vous répétez. Param, 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 pam, pam. 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 Si te conoce la va de malo.
Genau. Voilà.
Muso kɛmɛ ka taa i sun kasi kɛ o ye mun ne ye min ti ban n'i bɛ fara mɔgɔ la mɔgɔ min t'i fɛ i tɛgɛ dun ɲini mɔgɔ min t'i fɛ furufuruyaya ma ɲiniya muso kelen t'i fɛ ka i tɛ kɔnɔ fɛ ala b'a de bolo futi tori fɛ ala b'a fi fa kɛsɛ ti kulu fɛ a ɲi ti nɔgɔ fɔlɔ ti fali fɛ a mago ti sa. Quand il y a eu le coup d'État, ils nous ont réunis pour nous dire qu'il n'y a plus de musique, que les révolutionnaires ont tout brûlé. Ils ont tout brûlé, donc il n'y a rien, quoi. Mais c'est quelque chose qu'on aime. Donc on a continué à jouer, à faire des soirées. Ne marche pas, mais on le fait quand même parce qu'on aime ça.
I mean, that was just an example of my approach to my sort of realism. I like these stories so much of what artists are saying about their music. And I what I'm trying to do in the editing is playing and bringing several contexts together. Yeah, that's what happened there. Again, back to yeah. Okay, I'm gonna make it a bit faster. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm too long. Yeah, like he said before, just kick me out. I was talking to these guys, and because they when they play a concert and they come to for the first set and they land directly after 45 minutes, and talking to them and how do they do it? Because we have watches here, but they don't on stage. So sometimes comes up some really simple explanations of the drummer saying, I just wanted to smoke a cigarette. It's I wanted to have a pause now. So let's go a bit quicker. Because I also talked to Maya about selecting pieces for the recordings. And Maya said that what I found so interesting is once you select for recordings, you have to explain things, which also comes a bit to what I thought, explaining the thing, because when it's live you don't have to explain it, because there are no words or there's no explanation needed, because you kind of feel it. And so let me just go faster to some sort of solution. This is also one of my heroes, this editor from Bertolucci, an incredible film, Il Conformista. And he stands for that, leave the door open, always leave the door open for some unawaited stuff to come in. Don't know. Can I show you the last scene where something really unawaited happened during the shooting? I show you this, and then it's over.
Macht mal Dora.
Na los. Yep.
Dora.
1, 2. Shit. Die vier Takte Loop.
Das wäre halt geil, wenn der richtig.
Ja, der kommt.
Da.
Später kommt der. Die 4 Takte, ja? 1, 2, 3.
Go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1.
Ah, you see?
What's happening? Okay. Sorry. Shake. It's my arrangement.
Yeah, I know.
It's gonna be like this.
Yeah, it's
Or
great.
we leave it out.
Great. It's great.
Oh, we leave it out.
You do it.
Okay.
You do it. Your arrangement. I tell you, this song is our song. You know, of 70s.
Yeah,
Let
but
me
we-
tell
we
you.
bring it-
Wait, Ion. You bring something else. I know, but the clava, nonsense. Leave me and go to anyone. They're gonna say this clava cannot be put like this. But if you want like this, do it.
I
Just
want
do
it
it.
like this.
Yeah. Oh, it's what I say. But
gonna
don't
be like
think.
this.
Yeah. I don't. You know. You know. It's gonna sound like a mistake. It's gonna sound like that. You know. I'm sorry to say that, man, but it's truth. You know. Okay, and you're gonna see Salif telling the same thing. Trust me, if he want to sing it this.
We leave
that
the
way.
clave out. Okay?
I'm
We
sorry.
leave it out. Okay, no clave, please.
It's not. The thing is
No
reverse.
clave.
I'm sorry to say that, you know, but it's reverse, man. It cannot be like this.
Ey, ich gebe einen Scheiß drauf, ja.
So you're gonna do it. This sound, I'm not inside. Sorry, cannot play even. Check out me. You got to ride over avec un clavier takagacho driver pour guitar da. Nete jana e. Na fikiate. Salif Feta.
Bonsoir. Bonsoir, ça va? Ah oui, ça va. Ouais. Ça va bien. Ça va.
Ne bois de bois mso.
Hein?
Ne bois.
Ah.
Faut delphine mon coro.
Bien.
Tu te rappelles, il était venu déjà. Ouais. Et ça, c'est le reste de l'équipe.
Bonsoir, monsieur. Ouais.
Ça va?
Ouais, bonsoir.
On va qu'on fait un son quand même, qu'on fait un son quand même. Mais tu vas commencer à fonder le nom. On est salvé dans le chocolat.
That was the unawaited to happen, and I was standing there and I thought that it will explode. They will really fight there. But I mean, in the end, they became really good friends. So okay, my talk is over. If you have, I'm keen to have your comments or questions.
Maybe we can have, yeah. I would like to stick to the time schedule, but we have time for one remark or question maybe, and everything else later in the breaks.
Thank you. I was very interested in that idea of the difference between playing and performing. And when I think of play as well, I think of humour. And I wonder if you think humour is an important element in play over performing.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever. I mean, any emotion is so important, in because it's, I don't know. That needs still a debate. If, like, say, a classical orchestra, they're performing. I mean, they were rehearsing before the sheeted music, and now they're performing. And is it still possible to have humor, to play humor in the actual concert, or whatever other emotions? I'm not so sure about it. This is why I love so much this improvised concerts. And humor, I mean, it's this challenge when we make films that, I mean, until the editing process, we can, the door is open for all these emotions to play around with the material and just, okay, if I put this in the context with this, suddenly it gets funny. But once it's all melted down to this final product. I mean, still humor now when I perform the film, and you had some fun, I think, watching it. But it's freeze down, and I think this yeah. I mean, it's so interesting to make films to always try to explore other ways for the approach. This is why I love this. I love this way of filmmaking. Like, in front of the camera, there's no limitation, and then you limit it down, limit down, and finally you have the perform. I mean, you're performing the film then later. In German, you say aufführen. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can discuss the exact differences between playing and performing. That's also a matter of definition in a way. But I thought it's interesting because with the idea of playing, maybe you could, I don't know if it was meant like this, but then you could connect rather this idea of authenticity of the moment with it. And performing is always something which is staged. Maybe we can put it like this. So in the moment where something is staged, can it be still real or something like that? Well, thank you very much, Markus Schmidt. So we will continue in a minute or so with Jonathan Frank. I will say just a bit then when we start.
Okay.